Stexy, I'm back. Sorry, I took a bit of a unplanned hiatus for a while there, but as you can probably tell from the background, we moved. So that's why I've been a bit busy, so I couldn't exactly fit filming into that, especially since our apartment was in complete chaos, so there would have been no place to do that really. But now I have new pretty bookshelves and I can make videos again. I actually have like really organized these smartly this time, so these are all books that I need to read and these are all books that I have read. So I have a whole system happening here. I thought I'd kinda come back from my hiatus by simply talking about all the books that I have read during the first half of the year, because I have actually read a pretty decent amount. I had some kind of productivity kick during the moving month and finished like all the books that I had started months ago and hadn't finished, so I have 9 books on my list now. Sorry if I look all sweaty because it's hot as hell in here. It's been like a heat wave for a few days now. It's probably 30 degrees indoors. It's not fun. But yeah, the first book I read this year was From Here to Eternity by Caitlin, because I was really into audiobooks during the start of the year. And From Here to Eternity was about like Caitlin traveling to different places and like learning about their death rituals. She visited places that had like really unique rituals. It was really interesting. I didn't enjoy it quite as much as her first book, what's it called? Smoke Gets in Your Eyes. I liked that one a lot more, but this was still really interesting too. And the next 2 books that I read were actually The Deal with the Elf King and Ninth House, and I made a whole video about just the 2 of them. I think that's the last video I posted before I went on my hiatus, so yeah, I won't spend too much time on them, but Deal with the Elf King is like a fantasy romance about this girl who has to marry the Elf King because some ancient rules say so. Because she has magic and he has magic that kind of go together or something, and that's required for nature's balance, and obviously they fall in love, and yeah. It was a really cute book. And Ninth House is like this mystery urban fantasy thing about this girl who can see ghosts, and she goes to Yale and she's part of this secret society thing. And yeah, I explain it probably better in the other video. But it was my first Leigh Bardugo book and it was really good, and I'm excited for the sequel whenever that happens. So yeah, that's probably one of my favorites this year actually, even though it's like a totally different genre than I usually do. I don't know what to do with myself when I'm standing up like this. I'm used to sitting on the floor. And then I went on a thriller kick, kind of. I read actually 2 thrillers in a row. My Sister the Serial Killer by Oyinkan Braithwaite, and She's Too Pretty to Burn by Wendy Hurd. So those were kind of very different, but also both were really good. My Sister the Serial Killer is about this woman whose sister is a serial killer. She keeps killing her boyfriends, and the main character Korede has to clean up her mess. And it was really interesting because it's really character focused. So it's like about her internal struggle about the whole thing, like should she turn her sister in or should she keep protecting her or what. She's Too Pretty to Burn is about like artists and this one sportier girl who's really pretty, and this other girl like takes a really good photo of her that goes viral and stuff happens. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but it's also sapphic romance, and I really love that they're really cute together, the girls. So I really enjoyed that side of the book. I don't know if I was that into the thriller element of it, because I think it went a little weird. I don't want to go into the details too much, but I still enjoyed the book. And the only issue I actually had with both of these books was that the endings were kind of no consequences to anyone. And I wasn't a huge fan of that because it's kind of like, well, what was the point then? And She's Too Pretty to Burn actually ended kind of with the feeling that there might be a sequel, but I have no idea if there actually will be a sequel, and that's really frustrating. I don't want to spoil it too much because it's a really nice book. The ending just frustrated me, and same with My Sister the Serial Killer, because basically in the end nothing changed in the situation except like Korede's own opinion about her position in the whole serial killer thing. So I guess it's more about her own character growth, I guess. But like there's also the whole no consequences thing for anyone, really. But it was actually a really cool book because it takes place in Nigeria. So that's like completely new to me, and some people spoke in like, I forget what it's called, but like some kind of local version of English. I don't know, like a dialect or something. My friend told me what it's called, but I can't remember right now. My brain is melting. But anyway, it was really interesting to like read people talking like that, even though I couldn't even understand them. I had to kind of try to figure it out from the context. But it was just cool to read something from a totally different country, unusual. So I really enjoyed the book, even though the ending was frustrating for that one. And the next one was another audiobook. It was Clanlands by Sam Heughan and Graham McTavish. So Jamie and Dougal from Outlander, basically. They filmed this TV show Men in Kilts where they kind of do a road trip around Scotland, and then Clanlands is kind of the behind the scenes of the trip. And they just kind of talk about Outlander and other stuff in general, and it was super fun. If you like Outlander, I highly recommend the audiobook because they narrate it themselves obviously, and they are just really fun to listen to because they make fun of each other all the time, and yeah. It was just a really fun and interesting book because it's like part banter and part Scottish history and part other stuff. If you are an Outlander fan, I definitely recommend it, and I really need to watch the TV show too at some point since it's actually available on Viaplay here, so yay. And the next book is actually the first book that I started this year, Once and Future Witches by Alex E. Harrow. Actually, I started it last year, but I didn't finish it until June. At some point, I just kinda forgot about it, and then I just couldn't get back into it, and I had to kinda force myself to continue reading it. But I finished it finally. Like, it was an okay book. I gave it 4 stars, and like I really loved the witchcraft aspect of it, like all the spell stuff and how they could learn spells from each other because they had been kind of preserved from like mother to daughter and stuff like that, because like in the books world magic was like banned because it's like an alternate history thing, so it's basically like late 1800s US except magic exists. It was a good book. I think the thing that just kinda bothered me a little bit was how black and white the whole men versus women thing was in it sometimes. I don't like it when it's really like super clear cut, all women are good and all men are evil thing. Like, that's not something I'm into. Like, I feel like there could have been a bit more grey in there. Like, I think there's only 2 male characters that are actually like decent people, so that's saying something. And the next book I read was Perfect on Paper by Sophie Gonzalez, and I really loved that one. It's like a contemporary YA romance, and it was really cute and it made me happy. And also it has like really strong bi representation, which made me really happy because it's actually like the main character is a girl and the love interest is a guy, but the girl is still bi, and there's a lot of discussion about how she doesn't feel like she can like participate in LGBT discussions and stuff like that because of that. Like, what if she dates a guy and then people don't accept her in their little queer club they have at the school and stuff like that. And I really appreciated all that discussion, and it had a lot of other LGBT relationships and characters too, like the main character's sister is a trans girl. It was just a really fun, cute teen romance. I really recommend it if you just want something nice. And the last book on my list is totally random compared to these other ones. It was Marie Kondo's Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. I kind of bought it on impulse at the bookstore one day, and like right before we confirmed that we are actually moving, and it actually turned out to be full of really useful advice, because I really wanted to like declutter our stuff because we had way too much, and we ended up getting rid of a lot of things too, which was really good. At least I agreed with a lot of things she said in the book, even though she is a pretty extreme when it comes to tidying, but there's still a lot of good advice in there. You don't have to like take absolutely everything she says. There's lots of useful tips, and I actually ended up borrowing the book to my mom, so that's why I don't have it here, even though it's really cute and tiny and pink. So yeah, that's all the books I have read so far this year. And after I finished Konmari, I went totally off the rails and started like 4 new books. At least I'm very much on track with my reading challenge, because my goal is reading 12 books. So I think I'll at least get there pretty easily. I've been feeling really motivated with everything since we moved, because I guess the change of scenery is a good thing. And we have so much more space, and I have these new pretty bookshelves, and we have a whole office for our computers, and the apartment is just really nice. So I'm excited to hopefully film more videos here too. Now that I have nothing else to do, I'm still job hunting and stuff. So yeah, I will try to make some silly stuff. I have plenty of ideas. I think I'll end this video here because I'm like actually melting under the light, even though it's not that warm. Hopefully I'll be back with more videos soon. So thanks for watching, and bye!